story time about when a past employee stole medications at the pharmacy. And not just any medications, these ones were in the safe, so stay tuned. So I think I'm gonna make all these stories into a series called the PharmaTea, which the first one is brought to you by Spindrift. Because if you're gonna drink water, it better at least taste good. Let's dive into the story. I was a new pharmacist and it was just myself and a pharmacy intern. And so let's call him Bob. So it was a super busy day because we have a drive-thru and we have the front end. So I was filling a 30-day prescription for Adderall 10 milligrams. So Bob was at the drive-thru dealing with a really difficult customer. And while I was in the middle counting a prescription, of course I had a patient up front that was screaming to be helped this instant. So I put the 30 capsules of the Adderall in a bottle, put the label on it, and just put it by my verification area so that I could verify it right after I was done. When I was done with the customer, I decided to go back and count those Adderall just a second time, because usually with controls, you should be double counting them. So as I was double counting it, I kept getting 28 capsules, which I thought was really strange because I know how to count by 5. So I asked Bob, like, hey, did you know, like, if anything was missing, like, with the Adderall? Like, I definitely had 30 in here. Which Bob looked straight at me and said, I think you just miscounted them. Of course, me, being a new pharmacist, I was freaking out. I decided to count the stock bottle as well that I had opened, and then I compared it to the count, and I was still 2 capsules short. I didn't want to accuse anyone of anything, but there's no way I was going down for this. And since the pharmacy has like a million cameras in it, I was like, maybe there's something on camera that I'm just not seeing. So I went up front and asked the store manager to look through the tapes. And to this day, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen on tape. When I was helping that customer up front, Bob had finished with the drive-thru patient, went over to the verification area and took 2 capsules from the bottle and put it in his pocket. So I continued watching the footage and you could see how I was like pacing around, trying to figure out what was going on. And then during that time, Bob decides to throw the 2 capsules in the trash can. So the store manager had to call, I believe, like loss prevention in regards to it, and then had Bob just continue a shift and didn't even mention anything about it. When Bob showed up for his shift the next day, the police were there and arrested him right on the spot. The moral of this story is if you steal at the pharmacy, you will get caught and you'll go to jail.